so much. So I'm very happy to be here. I was formerly a visiting fellow at the Observer Research Foundation. So it's great to be among friends and former colleagues for a conference ORF produced with CYFY on a very timely topic. Michael Cheatham, the U.S. Director of the IndoUS Science and Technology Forum, and I have co-developed a program on IndoUS cooperation in the science of cybersecurity. This is a collaboration between my center and his, and they're both housed with the American Association for the Advancement of Science, which we call AAAS. So for those of you that aren't familiar with AAAS, AAAS is the world's largest scientific network with over 220,000 members. Our journal Science is one of 2 journals that are used for the announcement of new cutting-edge scientific discoveries. So what I'm going to do today is discuss how an effective public-private partnership on the science of cybersecurity has the potential to transform the overall Indo-US cybersecurity relationship. My presentation is going to proceed in 3 parts. First, I'll try to clarify what the science of cybersecurity is. Second, I'll show how science can be used as a mechanism to deepen Indo-US cybersecurity relations. And finally, I'll present the current AAAS initiative that will bring American and Indian scientists together to explore and make recommendations to jointly develop a foundational science for cybersecurity. So what is the science of cybersecurity? Well, to answer that, it's best I step back and look at how cybersecurity is managed at present. At present, cybersecurity has been approached in a very ad hoc manner, an attack and patch type strategy. As a person with a security background, I find paralleling cybersecurity to the challenges of fortress defense particularly insightful. Fortresses have, throughout history, been used as a mechanism to protect the populace from external adversaries. A fortress consisting of walls and gates can be paralleled to cyberspace's access controls and authentication protocols. These are static architectural views of security. However, as the Greeks' use of the Trojan horse demonstrated in the Greco-Trojan Wars, there's a need to protect a city once adversaries penetrate, infiltrate, or subvert static defenses. This requires a more dynamic form of flexible defense. The science of cybersecurity, hypothetically, would provide those dynamic defenses. So the science of cybersecurity would rely on predictive analytics to identify and respond to those adversaries using techniques such as data mining, network probes, honeypots, or direct interactions. Similarly to an immune response in the body, a science of cybersecurity would identify threats, adapt to those threats, and seek to eliminate them. What makes the security picture more complex is that it's becoming increasingly difficult to tell the difference between systems, so the fortress and its contents, and the external environment in the cyber domain. In large networks with immense numbers of processes, the distinction between the system and the environment becomes somewhat meaningless. So the task of the science of cybersecurity is to delineate the different distinctions between the system and the environment, dynamically respond to those changes, and adapt to them. So to meet these challenges, cybersecurity specialists are drawing on diverse disciplines for inspiration: physics, mathematics, cryptology, the social sciences, and in the past, even fields as diverse as meteorology, agriculture, and medicine. So what U.S. international cooperative engagements in the science of cyber are going on today? So at present, there are cooperative partnerships between the U.S., the U.K., and Canada. But there's a need to expand cooperative programs to the study of the science of cybersecurity beyond historically close U.S. allies. India and the U.S. with common threat perceptions emanating from the cyber domain, when coupled with both states' strong science and technology research and education, make them natural partners to pursue the study of the science of cybersecurity in an unclassified manner. So while at first glance it might seem like India and the United States have the beginning of a robust cybersecurity engagement. India and the United States conducted a second round of cyber consultations in June 2012 as part of the overall U.S. strategic dialogue. Through a cybersecurity forum, India and the United States have agreed to start cooperation. India has participated in a cyber war game with the Department of Homeland Security, and there's an ongoing dialogue through a joint working group on ICT, and India and the United States have cooperated in attempting to develop some norms and confidence building measures in cyberspace for the UN group of government experts on information security. However, in reality, India and the US cyber engagement lacks substantive progress and continues at a slow pace. And while certainly the overall IndoUS strategic relationship has made leaps and bounds since the 90s, analysts in both the US and India attribute the sluggish nature of the cybersecurity relationship to a lack of trust and larger diplomatic discrepancies in cybersecurity between the two governments. So there's a need to build trust, develop capacity, and better align interests in the field of cybersecurity in New Delhi and Washington. Science could provide that diplomatic mechanism to achieve that goal. The fundamental principles of science, rationality, transparency, and universality, are the same the world over, allowing people to communicate in a common language. Science provides a non-ideological environment to share ideas, build capacity, and solve common problems. And using science to establish deeper diplomatic relations and overall state-to-state relations, or simply in a given area of tension, is not without historic precedent. Indeed, science played an integral role in the Sino-US rapprochement of 1972, in the easing of tensions between the US and Soviet Union during the Cold War, and even more recently in building trust networks between American and Iranian scientists. So the scientific implications of international or diplomatic issues provides an alternative bilateral or even multilateral means of communication. Jointly discussing and developing a science of cybersecurity may provide India and the United States the ability to surpass the diplomatic inertia that has plagued current cybersecurity negotiations and move towards a more substantive dialogue that targets the root of security problems. By first addressing the science behind cybersecurity, India and the United States could develop trust that could later be used as a basis for a broader diplomatic policy discussion. So the U.S. side of the IndoUS Science and Technology Forum in my center, the Center for Science, Technology, and Security Policy of IIIS, have partnered to develop an IndoUS Science and Cybersecurity Initiative. As a brief overview, the IndoUS Science and Technology Forum has supported the interaction of over 12,000 Indian and American scientists. We've supported 300 bilateral workshops, 40 advanced schools and training programs, and 45 virtual centers, and hundreds of faculty and student fellowships each year between India and the U.S. And the Center for Science, Technology, and Security Policy at IIIS works with issues at the nexus of science and security. And we've supported scientific security initiatives throughout the broader Middle East and North Africa, West Asia, and even Iran and North Korea. So with the support of both government and industry, our two IIIS centers will be convening a 3-day workshop in Bangalore in 2014 to bring together key scientific stakeholders in India and the United States to discuss the scientific underpinnings of cybersecurity. An interdisciplinary group of thought leaders from academia, industry, and government from both India and the US will be selected to participate in the workshop to explore, study, and make recommendations to jointly develop a more reliant cybersecurity environment. The workshop will provide key input to both the U.S.-India strategic dialogue and the Joint Commission on S&T cooperation. And we've been in touch with government officials about this to make sure it complements current ongoing efforts. So as a follow-on to the workshop, IIIS will support early-stage interactions between U.S. and American scientists on the science of cybersecurity. So a variety of grants could be supported under the scheme, ranging from student and faculty fellowships to more substantial awards for technical workshops or virtual joint research. And as a follow-on in 2015, we'll hold a symposium at IIIS headquarters in Washington, D.C. to bring together the grantees to present their results and lessons learned and share them with scientific and policy stakeholders. So, in conclusion, cyber attacks and potential cyber threats in both India and the United States are pervasive. This can be partially attributed to the vulnerable nature of the technologies underlying digital communications. These threats in India and the United States will continue to grow as both states more readily rely on digital communications to support key infrastructure. There's a need for India and the United States to more deeply cooperate to jointly address these threats. The science of cybersecurity provides a mechanism for Indian and American scientists to build trust and address core cybersecurity challenges, which can later be translated into broader cybersecurity policy initiatives. Utilizing science diplomacy offers an alternative channel for deeper IndoUS cybersecurity engagement. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer.